The ball slammed into the chain-link fence like a gunshot, echoing across the empty court as if the night itself had shattered. "You're done, Alex. Get the fuck out." Coach's voice cracked like thunder, his finger jabbing at me, the freshman nobody who just cost us the championship shot. But it wasn't the miss that burned. It was the way Jake Harlan, star shooter, campus god, the boy I'd loved in secret for 2 years, didn't even glance back as he stormed off, leaving me bleeding on the asphalt from a fall I took trying to cover his glory. I woke up in the ER with a concussion and a therapist's card pinned to my chart, courtesy of my overprotective mom who flew in from Philly like a hurricane. "You're not just bruised, kid," Dr. Elena Vasquez said a week later in her sun-drenched office overlooking the Ohio State quad, her voice soft but unyielding, like the rustle of autumn leaves against the window. "This isn't about basketball. It's about you hiding who you are, and it's eating you alive." She leaned forward, her dark eyes locking onto mine, the kind of gaze that stripped away excuses. "Tell me about him. The one you can't stop chasing on that court." I swallowed hard, the words sticking like gravel in my throat. "Jake, golden boy with the killer crossover and the laugh that lit up frat houses from here to Chicago." We'd met as high school recruits at a summer camp in Indiana, 2 kids from blue-collar families dreaming of March Madness glory. He was straight as an arrow, dating cheerleaders and breaking hearts without trying, but to me he was everything. The way his sweat-slicked hair curled at his neck after drills, the quiet vulnerability when he'd confess pregame jitters over late-night burgers at White Castle. I'd buried it deep, channeling every stolen glance into assists and alley-oops, because what else could a closeted gay kid from Youngstown do? But that championship fumble, me tripping over my own feet, too distracted by his jersey brushing mine, had cracked the facade wide open. Dr. Vasquez nodded, jotting notes on her pad, the pen scratching like a whisper. "You're projecting your worth onto his approval, Alex. It's classic. You need to date someone available. Someone who sees you, not the shadow behind the star." Her words hung there, practical and American as apple pie, but they twisted in my gut like a bad turnover. Available? The campus was full of guys from the theater crowd or the engineering labs, out and proud, swiping right on apps with bios screaming, "Open for love." But none of them were Jake. None had that fire, that unspoken bond forged in the grind of suicides and sprints. "Try it," she urged, sliding a pamphlet across the desk. "Columbus's queer scene, rainbows and mixers and safety pins for allies. One step at a time, or you'll end up sidelined for life." I left her office with the pamphlet crumpled in my fist, the autumn air crisp with falling Buckeyes crunching under my sneakers. Ohio State sprawled out before me like a promise. Brickman Hall's ivy-clad towers, the Horseshoe Stadium roaring faintly in the distance even off-season. This was America at its rawest land of second chances, where a kid like me could claw from Rust Belt poverty to Big Ten starter if he bled enough on the court. But love? That was the wild card no coach could diagram. I texted my roommate, Tyler, a lanky psych major who'd clocked my phase freshman year without batting an eye. Therapy sucked. "Beers at the Roost?" His reply pinged back, "Only if you spill about Hotshot Harlan." Again. The Roost was our dive, tucked in short North's graffiti alleys, where hipsters nursed IPAs and drag queens owned karaoke nights. Tyler was already there, nursing a pint, his freckled face splitting into a grin as I slid into the booth. "Dude, you look like you got ghosted by your own reflection." I flipped him off, but ordered a round anyway, the bartender. A burly guy named Mick with a rainbow tattoo snaking up his arm, winking as he poured. "Rough day?" Mick asked, and I muttered something about hoops, but Tyler jumped in. "Our boy's pining for the unobtainable. Therapist says branch out." Mick chuckled, sliding the foams over. "Smart doc. Half the heartbreak here's chasing straights. Try the apps. Grindr's a jungle, but OKC's got the romantics." I laughed it off, but that night, buzzed and alone in my dorm, I downloaded it all. Profiles blurred by, bearded baristas quoting Whitman, gym rats flexing in mirrors, a violinist from the conservatory with eyes like stormy skies. I swiped right on 3 heart-hammering like pre-tip-off jitters. "Hey, saw you're into indie bands. Ever catch the National at Newport?" Sent. Love that you're a runner. Want to hit Scioto mile trails? Sent. But as replies trickled in, polite, flirty, real. I kept refreshing ESPN highlights, Jake's championship clip looping. Him sinking the game winner for Purdue. Our rivals. The crowd erupting as he pointed skyward. God, that smile. It wasn't fair. The first date was with Liam, a soft-spoken graphic designer from the Columbus College of Art. Met at a coffee shop off High Street. He was cute in that artsy way. Messy curls, paint-flecked jeans, a laugh that bubbled like fresh brew. We talked for hours. His latest mural project inspired by Stonewall, my dreams of pro ball postgrad. You're intense, he said, stirring his latte, foam heart dissolving. Like you're always guarding something. I wanted to spill it all, the ache, the secret, but instead, I kissed him goodbye on the cheek, promising a second round. It felt nice, safe, but as I jogged back to campus, the Buckeye leaves swirling in my wake, all I could picture was Jake's hand steadying me after a hard foul. His grip lingering just a beat too long. Weeks blurred into a rhythm. Therapy Tuesdays, practices that left me limping, dates that chipped at the walls I'd built. Liam and I hit the trails, shared falafel at Aladdin's, even caught a showing of Moonlight at the Gateway Film Center. His head on my shoulder during the beach scene. He was kind, saw the real me. The kid who sketched plays in notebooks, who blasted Springsteen on road trips home. You're more than the jersey, Alex, he'd whisper, fingers tracing my knuckles. And for stolen moments, I believed him. But Jake haunted the edges. Spotting him at a campus party, arm around a sorority girl named Becca, his eyes flicking past me like I was scenery. Or worse, during pickup games at the rec center, where he'd toss me a nod, nice handles, Russo, and I'd fumble the rock, heat flooding my face. Dr. Vasquez noticed the slip. You're sabotaging it, she said one rainy afternoon, thunder rumbling over the Olentangy River. Liam's available, invested. What's the block? I stared at the abstract painting on her wall, swirls of blue and gold, like a fast break frozen mid-air. It's not fair to him. I'm half in, she sighed, folding her hands. Fairness starts with honesty. Tell him about Jake. Or let him go. That night, I ghosted Liam's text about weekend plans, guilt gnawing like a bad hamstring pull. Instead, I laced up and hit the empty gym at midnight, the echo of my dribbles the only sound, until headlights swept the lot, security probably. But it was Jake, pulling up in his beat-up Ford F-150, headlights cutting the dark like a spotlight. Couldn't sleep, he called, jogging over in sweats, ball under arm. You, my heart jackknife it. Same. We played one-on-one under the harsh fluorescence. No score, just flow. His drives slicing me open, my blocks forcing his respect. Sweat poured, breath synced, and in a quiet beat between possessions, he wiped his brow and said, Heard you been seeing some artist dude. Good for you, man. Time to live a little. The words landed like a screen set too hard. Protective, but laced with something I couldn't name. Jealousy? Pity? I shrugged, sinking a jumper. Trying. He grinned, that devastating flash. Don't overthink it. You're solid, Russo. For the first time, I wondered if the court wasn't the only place we connected. But life doesn't script clean arcs. The next practice, coach pulled me aside after drills, his clipboard slapping his thigh. Scouts from the Cavs are sniffing around. Kid, clean up your head, rumors about you and that. Whatever. Focus. Rumors? My stomach dropped. Becca, Jake's on-again fling, had cornered me in the student union that morning, her acrylic nails digging into my arm. Stay away from him, freak. He's not like you. The slur hit like a cheap shot, but worse was the fear. If word spread, my spot on the team, my dreams, gone. America preached acceptance, but in the locker room, it was still dog-eat-dog. Macho bullshit masking the fragile egos underneath. I confronted Dr. Vasquez the next day, voice shaking. It's out. Everyone knows. She didn't flinch. Then own it. That's the play. But owning it meant risking Jake, the one truth I'd guarded like a last-second lead. That night, at a team bonfire by the Scioto, flames crackling against the November chill. I watched him from across the pit, guitar in lap, strumming Wonderwall for the pledges. Becca clung to him, but his eyes found mine over the firelight, holding just long enough to spark. Heart pounding, I slipped away to the riverbank, stones skipping into the dark water, when footsteps crunched behind me. Alex! Jake's voice, low and urgent. I turned, the fire's glow painting him in oranges and shadows. We gotta talk. He ran a hand through his hair, that telltale sign of nerves. Becca's full of shit. I shut her down. Relief flooded me, sharp as Gatorade after overtime. Why? He stepped closer, the scent of smoke and his cologne. Something woodsy, like pine from back home, wrapping around us. Because it's true. About you. And maybe me too. The world tilted. His hand brushed mine, tentative, electric. I felt it on the court off. Scared the hell out of me. But seeing you with that guy, it gutted me. We kissed there, under the stars and the distant hum of I-71. His lips tasting of beer and bravery. Soft at first, then fierce, like a game-winning sequence. It was messy, real, the kind of moment that rewrites your playbook. I'm in, he murmured against my neck, fingers threading my hair. If you are. I was. The team found out piecemeal. Tyler's whoops at breakfast, coach's gruff. As long as it doesn't tank your jump shot. Even Becca slunk away, tail between legs. Dates with Jake were stolen magic. Midnight drives to Hocking Hills, hands linked over console. Courtside confessions post-practice, vulnerabilities bared like exposed plays. But betrayal brews in the best defenses. It came via an anonymous email, forwarded from the athletic department. Grainy photos of us at the bonfire, time-stamped, captioned team's dirty secret exposed. Sender unknown, but the damage rippled. Whispers in the weight room, sponsors pulling feelers. Jake's dad, a stern ex-Marine from Fort Wayne, calling with ultimatums. This queer shit ends now, son, or you're cut off. Jake crumbled under it, the golden boy tarnished, snapping at me during scrimmages, avoiding my dorm like plague. It's too much, he said one sleet-lashed night on my fire escape, voice hollow. The pressure. I can't lose everything. The fight was brutal, words flying like elbows in the paint. You think I'm not losing too? I yelled, rain soaking us both. This isn't just your call. He stormed off, truck peeling into the storm, leaving me shattered. Dr. Vasquez called it a trigger. Betrayal from without, echoing the fear within. I spiraled, skipped practices, ghosted Tyler, drowned in cheap whiskey at the shoe bars. Liam texted once, heard. You deserve better. But better felt like fiction. Climax hit mid-semester. During the Buckeyes-Purdue rivalry game, Jake's old team, ghosts of our shared past. I was benched, injury excuse flimsy as wet paper, watching from the tunnel as he lit up the floor for them. Every bucket a knife twist. Halftime, coach cornered me. Get your head in, Russo, or you're done. But as the second half tipped, a sideline scuffle erupted. Purdue's enforcer clotheslining our point. Refs swallowing whistles. Chaos. Benches clearing, fists flying. I vaulted the barrier, adrenaline surging, tackling the guy off our shooter. Fists connected, blood sprayed, and in the melee, Jake and I locked eyes across the fray. Raw, unfiltered, the court our confessional. Security hauled us apart, but not before he mouthed, wait. Post-game, in the underbelly of Value City Arena, amid the echo of emptying stands, he found me taping a split knuckle in the training room. That was stupid, he said, but his grin betrayed him. Brave, though. I laughed. Bitter. Like us. He sank onto the bench, head in hands. Dad cut me off. Team side-eyeing. But losing you? That's the real L. Vulnerability poured out. His own buried doubts. The camp crushes he'd dismissed as bro stuff. The therapy he'd started in secret. I love you, Alex. Not on the court. Off it. All in. We rebuilt slow, humanistic as a comeback season. Joint sessions with Dr. Vasquez, her office now a safe harbor. Pride parades down High Street, hands held under rainbows. Quiet nights cooking spaghetti in his off-campus apartment, Springsteen crooning from the speakers. Betrayal scarred, but it forged us. Stronger defenses, deeper trust. Graduation loomed, scouts circling again, but now with clauses for personal partnerships. Jake signed with the Cavs G League affiliate in Canton. I landed a grad assistant gig at OSU, coaching the next wave. Looking back from our shoebox in Cleveland's Tremont. View of the flats, his jersey framed beside my whistle. The therapist was half right. I did pick someone available eventually, but Jake? He was always the play I couldn't scout, the heart steal no diagram predicted. In America's grand, flawed arena, love isn't about availability. It's about showing up, foul after foul, for the win that matters. The first holiday with Jake's family was a minefield disguised as a Midwest miracle, turkey and tension simmering under tinsel in his childhood home. A squat rancher on Fort Wayne's outskirts where the Wabash whispered secrets to the cornfields. I'd rehearsed my lines like free throws. Firm handshake for Mr. Harlan, a steel-eyed vet with a buzz cut and a Bible on the mantel. Warm hug for Mrs. Harlan, her floral apron hiding the worry lines from years of holding the family fort. Jake squeezed my hand under the table as Grace dragged on, his thumb circling my palm. A Morse code of we got this. But when his dad cleared his throat post-pie, fork clinking plate, the air thickened like pre-storm humidity. So, Alex? Harlan Sr. boomed, eyes narrowing over his bifocals. Jake says you're coaching now. Good trade from playing. It was code for what about this gay thing? The elephant in the room trumpeting since the leak. Jake stiffened beside me, but I met the gaze square. Lessons from the court, where backing down lost possessions. Yes, sir. Grad assistant at State. Building from the ground up like you did with the garage business. He grunted, a half-smile cracking. Fair enough. Passed the rolls. Small victory, but it lingered. That undercurrent of judgment America wears like a faded flag. Tolerance preached, but tradition clung like rust. We escaped post-dinner to the backyard court Jake's granddad had poured in '98. A cracked concrete slab under a sagging hoop, floodlights buzzing like fireflies. Snow flurried soft, first of the season, blanketing the court in white hush. He dribbled lazy, passing to me with a wink. Remember that camp pickup? You stole my thunder. I laughed, sinking a fadeaway. You let me. Our game turned ritual, bodies colliding in the chill, breaths clouding, until tackles dissolved into grapples. Us tumbling into the powder, his weight pinning me warm. Love you, he murmured, lips blue but fierce against mine. In that frozen bubble, betrayal felt distant, a scar not a shackle. Back home, our home, in Tremont, the city thrummed with Cuyahoga grit. Steel mills belching smoke, bridges arching like defiant spines. I thrived in the assistant role, diagramming X's and O's for freshmen who reminded me of us. Raw talent wrapped in doubt. Jake commuted to Canton, grinding G League games where scouts eyed him like fresh meat. His crossover still poetry in motion. Nights, we debrief over takeout from Sokolowski's, pierogies steaming, his head on my lap as I ranted about a botched zone press. You're the strategist, he'd tease, nipping my thigh. I'm just the showman. It was domestic bliss, the kind Hallmark skips for lacking drama, but real as the lake effect snow piling our stoop. Yet cracks spiderweb subtle. His phone buzzed more. Agent calls, endorsement feels, and once, a blocked number from Dad. Mine too. Tyler, now in med school at Case Western, texting spill. Wedding bells or bust? I deflected with memes, but the question burrowed. Commitment in queer America was a hustle. Legal since Obergefell, but laced with logistics. Shared leases, beneficiary forms, the quiet fear of what if. Dr. Vasquez, now on Zoom from her Columbus nest, probed gently. You're healing, but vigilance is key. Betrayal taught resilience. Don't let complacency erode it. She was right. One February Eve, post a brutal loss for his charge squad, double OT heartbreaker. I found him in the kitchen, staring at a crumpled letter. Nil deal offer from an energy drink brand, contingent on clean image. They're saying no queers. He spat, crumpling it further. Rage flared hot. Fuck him. But his eyes, storm gray, vulnerable, betrayed the hit. We burned it in the sink, flames dancing blue, then made love on the linoleum, urgent and reclaiming, bodies mapping forgiveness. It bonded us tighter, that shared defiance, but so doubt. How long before the league's glass closet claimed him? Spring bloomed riotous, cherry blossoms rioting along the Cuyahoga, my OSU squad clinching conference semis. Jake's game elevated. A viral dunk clip hit 2 million views, whispers of NBA Summer League. We celebrated at the Velvet Dog, Tremont's queer dive with velvet booths and Dolly on the juke. Mick the bartender, transplanted from Columbus, poured comped shots. To the power couple, he toasted, winking. Jake flushed, arms slung casual over my shoulders. Public now, but the PDA dance was tentative, eyes scanning for stares. A table of bros nearby muttered, but we ignored, lost in our bubble. Later, stumbling home under street lamps, he stopped mid-sidewalk, pulling me close. Marry me, the words tumbled, half laugh, half prayer. I froze, heart slamming. Jake, not no, but the weight, his career teetering, family fractures fresh. Soon, I whispered, when it's right. Summer scorched in, practices under the relentless sun, our lives sinking like a pick and roll. We road tripped to Youngstown, my folks' Milltown bungalow where Mom stuffed us with halupki and Dad grilled stories of my high school glory. They adored Jake, solid kid, calls his plays. The acceptance a balm on old wounds. His side was frostier. A tense barbecue where senior grilled steaks silent. But Mrs. Harlan slipped me a photo album, Jake's gap-toothed youth beaming. He needs you, she confided, voice thick. Always the dreamer. It humanized him, stripped the star sheen to the boy beneath. But August brought the storm. Jake's agent, a slick shark named Vic from L.A., flew in for strategy sessions at a warehouse district steakhouse. Fillets bleeding, deals diced like onions. I tagged along, outsider in suit, as Vic laid it out. Summer league with the Cavs, then two-way contract. But the optics. He glanced at me, implication clear. Jake's jaw set. Alex is non-negotiable. Vic backpedaled. All smiles, but the seed lodged. That night, in our bed with the AC humming gospel, Jake tossed fitful. What if I tank us both? Dawn found him at the kitchen table, coffee cold, drafting emails to therapists, his own, plural now. We fight this together, I said, kissing his temple. But the email he sent, to Becca, need to talk. Old times. Betrayal revisited. Sharper for the echo. She was in Cleveland now, marketing gig at Progressive Field, their paths crossing at alumni mixers. Just closure, he swore when confronted. Phone thrust at me. Innocent thread, coffee invite, no more. But the lunch stretched hours. He came home hollow-eyed, reeking of her perfume. Floral, accusatory. She said, I'm throwing it away. Dad agrees. The fight erupted. Accusations hurled like bricks. Me yelling, you're the one who proposed, now this? He slammed out, tires screeching toward the lake. I paced, calling Tyler. He's cracking. Go get him, came the reply. Courtside, heart to heart. I found him at Edgewater Park. Dawn gilding the waves, ball idle in the sand. I panicked, he admitted, voice raw. Scared of failing you, us. We walked the shore, pebbles crunching confessions. His internalized crap from locker room jabs, the league's shadow homophobia. Becca was easy, straight path. But you're home. Tears mixed with spray. We clung, salt-stung, vowing therapy doubles, agent ultimatums. It was messy humanism. Love not linear but looped, resilient. Fall semester kicked off with resolve. My coaching load ramped, his summer league invite sealed. We inked a pact on butcher paper, no secrets, shared loads, pinned to the fridge like a depth chart. Dates reclaimed romance. Picnic at the Rock Hall, his head on my chest to what's going on. Stargazing from the observatory hill, fingers laced like promises. Dr. Vasquez beamed on screen. Growth isn't absence of conflict. It's navigation. True. But as leaves turned, a new shadow loomed. Purdue rematch, my OSU return. Jake suiting for the visitors. Rivalry reignited old flames. Game night. The Schottenstein Center pulsed electric. Sold out scarlet, chants thundering. I paced the bench, whistle biting palm, as coach barked adjustments. Jake trotted out, eyes locking mine across the floor. A nod, fierce, for us. Halftime tied, tension taut as bowstrings. Second half, he exploded, threes raining, crossovers carving. But with 30 ticks left, down 2, he drove baseline, me shadowing from the sideline, heart in throat. Foul called soft. He iced the freeze, nodding it. OT loomed, but a steel mine, coaching yell sparking it, fed our shooter for the win. Post buzzer, amid the roar, he vaulted the scorer's table, hugging me fierce, mics catching the whisper. That's my guy. Media frenzy followed. Harlan's bold embrace, ally or more. Speculation swirled, but we owned it. A joint Insta-post, hands raised in victory, caption team on and off the court. Vic grumbled, but deals flowed. Inclusivity the new sell. Jake's dad even called. Saw the game. Proud. Gruff but gold. Winter wrapped us cozy. Holidays round 2. Senior carving turkey with a toast. To family, however it grows. We laughed. Real. But as New Year's bells tolled over public square, fireworks blooming, Jake knelt again. This time with my grandma's ring, salvaged from Youngstown attic. All in. I nodded, tears freezing cheeks. Always. The engagement leak hit like a buzzer beater. Unplanned, viral, splashed across Deadspin and Outsports before we'd even picked a venue. It started innocuous. A candid from the Rock Hall picnic, snapped by a fan. Me feeding Jake a strawberry, his laugh mid-bite. Ring glinting accidental in frame. Posted to Reddit's r/Buckeyes with Harlan's mystery man. It snowballed. Comments dissecting our timeline. Digging the bonfire scandal. Crowning us, queer hoops royalty. Jake scrolled numb on our couch. Great Lakes snow muffling the world outside. This is it, he said, half awe, half dread. No closet left. I pulled him close, his heartbeat sinking mine. Good. Let em watch. But America's gaze is double-edged. Adoration laced with acid. Wedding planners flooded inboxes. Offers from NYC lofts to Napa vineyards. All-inclusive gloss. We opted humble. A June ceremony at Hocking Hills, under old-growth oaks where we'd first whispered futures. Invites went out. Tyler's RSVP with best man duties. Check. My folks beaming. Even senior, tentative will be there. Dr. Vasquez sent a card. From patient to partner, brava. Yet undercurrents churned. Jake's G-League coach pulled him for image consults. Code for tone down the gay. Vic negotiated a Cavs two-way, but whispered side deals. Keep it low-key till playoffs. Spring training amped the grind. My OSU staff buried in recruit tapes. Jake's days a blur of sprints and film sessions in Canton. We carved time sacred. Sunday brunches at Blue Canyon, Eggs Benedict and bottomless mimosas, plotting vows over napkins. Mine. You stole my heart like a fast break. He joked, but his eyes turned serious. Real talk. Scared of the spotlight killing us? I traced his ring finger, bare for practices. Spotlight shows truth. We're solid. But doubt niggled, fed by headlines. Harlan's hype. Talent or tabloid? Becca resurfaced too. Linked in congrats masking venom. A bar run-in where she cooed. Pity the league chews you up. Betrayal's sequel struck subtle. Insidious. Mid-April, post a brutal charge win. Jake's 30-point dagger. I found a burner email in his drafts. Vic, sponsor bridge. Discretion on personal matters? Unsent but damning. We fought in the car ride home. Rain lashing the windshield like accusations. Just hedging, he pleaded, hands white on the wheel. For us. I exploded. Hedging means hiding, back to square one. He veered into a BP lot, engine idling harsh. I can't lose the dream, not after everything. Tears streaked. I stormed into the storm, hiking to the lake alone, waves crashing my fury. Hours later, his text, therapist now. Come? We synced sessions. Dr. Vasquez mediating via video from her porch swing, birdsong backdrop. Fear of loss drives deception, she unpacked, her voice steady anchor. But transparency builds empires. Jake owned it, childhood poverty's ghost, the drive to provide haunting him. I thought protecting the ring meant. I finished, dimming us. Forgiveness flowed slow, earned in actions. Him forwarding Vic's emails open book. A public people interview, hand in mine. Love wins leagues too. It mended, stronger weld. May bloomed vows and vendors. Floral arches from a queer-owned nursery in Athens. Suits tailored at Himmy's in Cleveland Heights. Tyler through the Bachelor Bash. Go-karts at Scene 75. Beers at Platform. Cheesy, cathartic. Bros from both teams toasting to stealing hearts. Not just balls. Mine was quieter. Mom's garden party in Youngstown. Dad grilling brats. Liam showing unexpected. Older now, partnered, extending olive branch. You were my first real, he said, clinking glasses. Glad it's epic. Closure, sweet as pie. Rehearsal dinner at the Harlan Ranch. Senior in apron, flipping burgers with uncharacteristic jokes. Mrs. Harlan's potato salad a peace offering. Jake's speech cracked us open. Alex taught me plays off the page. Loves the ultimate upset. Toast circled. Even Vic, roped in, quipped. May your assists be many. Night ended fireside. Stars pricking the ink sky. Senior pulling Jake aside. Words low, but the clap on shoulder said volumes. Progress inch by inch. Wedding dawn broke golden. Hawking's mist veiling the hollow like bridal lace. I paced our cabin, nerves electric. Tyler adjusting my bow tie. Mom fussing boutonnieres of buckeye blooms. You're glowing, she whispered, eyes misty. The aisle was mossy path. Guests in folding chairs under canopy. 150 souls. Teammates in polos, sorority sisters subdued. Dr. Vasquez beaming front row. Jake waited at the arbor, navy suit hugging his frame. Eyes locked as strings swelled. At last on violin, Edda's solar hymn. Vows exchanged, rings sliding home. Simple bands etched court and spark. I promise to guard your heart, foul out doubts, when every overtime, I said, voice steady. His, you turned my solo to symphony. Forever my MVP. Kiss sealed it soft, then surging, cheers erupting like final buzzers. Reception tent glowed fairy lit. Polka band from Polish Hall kicking Sweet Caroline. First dance to Springsteen's Thunder Road. Bodies swaying close, world fading to our rhythm. But climax crested post-ceremony. A curveball no playbook prepped. As cake cut, 3-tier lemon raspberry, rainbow layers, Jake's phone lit. Vic, urgent. Cavs call up now. Playoffs start tomorrow. Elation ward devastation. Our honeymoon booked Maui, lays and luau's pending. Guests hushed as he stepped aside, voice low. Return, face ashen. They need me. Bench warmer, but the dream. My gut twisted, betrayal's echo, career trumping covenant. Silence stretched taut. Tyler cleared throat. Proxy honeymoon? Laughter broke ice, but inside, fracture. We talked till stars wheeled. Pros, exposure, stability. Cons, postponed paradise, fragile newness tested. Go, I said finally, chin high. Will Maui in fall? He searched my eyes, finding resolve. Together always? Kiss confirmed. Senior drove him to the airport at dawn. Bond forged in the send-off, dad-son quiet profound. I waved from the hollow's edge, truck vanishing into vapor. Alone with echoes, guests departed in waves, hugs, toasts lingering like perfume. Mom squeezed my hand. Love bends, doesn't break. True. Back in Tremont, the apartment felt vast. Confetti trails, his razor still fogging the mirror. Tyler crashed, binging Ted Lasso, but sleep evaded. I scrolled highlights, imagining Jake's warm-up in the queue, nerves alight. Text ping 2 a.m. Miss you. Bench for now, but hearts courtside. Love. Reply, steal the show. Ours forever. Weeks blurred. My coaching camp in full swing. Freshman drilling fundamentals under July blaze. Calls nightly. His voice crackling from hotel rooms, recaps laced with wish you here. Playoffs pulsed. Charge eliminated early, but his Cavs minutes ticked up. Garbage time threes, hustle plays earning nods. Media frenzy peaked. Newlywed Harlan. Wine or wine? We laughed it off on FaceTime, his hotel bed rumpled. My desk piled scripts. August healed the hiatus. Maui redeemed. Volcanoes and vahinis are reset. Hikes to waterfalls, his hand and mine slick with spray. Sunset cruises, my ties toasting delayed but destined. This, he said, toes in sand. Worth every weight. Back stateside, fall foliage framed our rhythm. My OSU season launch, his training camp grind. Betrayal's ghost, exorcised in openness, weekly check-ins, no draft rule. Thanksgiving circled wagons. Dual families in Tremont, tables groaning turkey and Pyragus. Senior and Dad bonded over garage tales. Mrs. Harlan and Mom swapped recipes, laughter bridging divides. Toasts to found family, rings glinting candlelit. Post-feast yard football, chaotic, joyful. Ended in piles, Jake tackling me soft into leaves. Best life, he breathed. America at its core, imperfect union but ours. Winter's grip tightened like a full-court press. Lake effect squalls burying Cleveland in white drifts. My OSU bus tours slick with ice as we chased recruits through Pennsylvania rust. Jake's rookie year solidified. Two-way contract locked. Minutes creeping into Cavs rotations. His name chanted faint but fervent in the queue. We navigated fame's frenzy. Autograph seekers at Giant Eagle, paparazzi flashes outside Luna Bakery. Smile for the gram. He'd quip, but privately. The glare war. Endorsements demanding relatable ads. Execs probing marriage distractions. Our pact held, though. Date nights at the museum, whispering over Monets. Therapy tag teams, unpacking the load. Climax brewed in December. A perfect storm of spotlight and sabotage. The Cavs clawed into playoff contention. Jake's bench spark igniting streaks. A 15-point quarter off the pine. ESPN dubbing him the comeback kid. We jetted to LA for the All-Star break. His nod to the Rising Stars game a whisper away. Glamour swallowed us. Poolside at the Chateau Marmont. Agents schmoozing, starlets air-kissing. But Vic cornered him poolside. My ties sweating. Big league suitor, Phoenix, starter minutes. But conditions. Jake's laugh died. What conditions? Vic's glance my way. Family leave clause. Flexible. Betrayal redux, venomous. Back in our suite, balcony overlooking sunset glow. He paced like a caged point guard. It's business, he rationalized, but eyes dodged. Phoenix? We'd uproot your coaching. I cut in voice steel. Or we stay. Fight for here. The row escalated, words weaponized, me accusing erasure, him defending provision. I do this for us, house security. Door slammed. I crashed the hotel gym till dawn. Heavy bag bruising, knuckles bloody. Tyler's call pulled me back. Breathe. He's scared, not scheming. Return found Jake curled on the balcony chaise. Dawn gilding regret. I told Vic no. All in here. Embrace mended, tear salted. We vowed transparency tattoos. Metaphoric ink binding deeper. But the leak was inevitable. TMZ broke it 2 days post. Harlan's ultimatum. Love or legacy. Sourced anonymous. Vic's fingerprints smudged. Becca's whisper suspected. Fallout cascaded. Senior ringing furious. Don't throw it away. Cavs PR spinning damage control. Benching Jake for focus. He spiraled, practices lackluster, texts curt. I dragged him to Dr. Vasquez in Columbus. Her office now a franchise away game. Ambition and intimacy clash. She mediated. Whiteboard diagramming boundaries. Redefine success. Shared metrics. Clicked. His metrics expanded, minutes plus us time, legacy not just stats. Playoffs dawned chaotic. Cavs snagging the 8th seed. First round dance with the Knicks brutal. Jake rode pine initial. Tension taut as overtime clocks. Game 3 down 12 entering fourth, Coach Bickerstaff nodded him in desperation sub. He erupted. Steal to dunk transition, pull-up dagger, block sealing the run. Garden faithful booed. But me courtside, pass bought with coaching cred roared raw. Post-win locker, he FaceTimed from the Bubble Light Hotel. Your play call in my head. Momentum shifted. Series nodded, his minutes minted. Conference semis against Milwaukee loomed, but betrayal's final act unfolded off-court. Becca, emboldened by leaks, cornered me at a CLE charity gala. Black tie, proceeds for LGBTQ youth. Wine loosened her tongue. He'll choose career. Always does. Venom dripped. Texts forwarded from her phone. Jake's old flames fanned. I confronted post-gala. Gala gown swapped for sweats, his hotel keycard burning pocket. She showed me, I said, voice quake. The drafts, the maybes. He paled. Then fury? She's lying, twisting old shit. Proof pulled. Timestamps predating us, her obsession archived. But the wound wept, trust's tendon strained. We paused the playoffs for us, emergency counsel with a league therapist, neutral ground in Chicago. Jealousy amplifies shadows. The doc unpacked. His voice neutral as a ref's whistle. Jake bared it. I ended it clean. She's the ghost. Forgiveness forged in facts. Screenshots debunked. Blocks reinstated. No more X's in orbit, I stipulated. He nodded, solemn. Return to the fray. Game 1 loss, but Game 2, his fire, 30 points, heart-stopping heave at the horn. Clinched road win. Post-game embrace, cameras flashing. He declared, for my husband, the real MVP. Viral vindication. Finals fever gripped June. NBA Finals versus Denver. Cleveland Electric. Lakefront parades prepped. Jake started now, lineup lock, his crossover carving nuggets like butter. We 4 deep, series swinging on slivers. My pregame rituals. Lucky socks from Youngstown. Pep talks laced love. Game 5, down 3 with 10 ticks, he ISO'd baseline. My shadow and spirit breath held global. Pump fake, step back. Flash. Arena erupted. Confetti cannon. We won. Rings incoming. MVP chance for him. But his podium nod. This is ours. Championship parade snaked public square. Millions lining. Rainbow flags waving queer solidarity. Float top. Trophy hoisted. He pulled me up. Mike shared. From Rust Belt dreams to this. Love built the bracket. Senior in the crowd. Tears streaking. Pride pure. Postfest. Our Tremont stoop. Neighbors cheering. Beers cracked. Felt pinnacle. But humanism tempers highs. Off-season brought reflection. Jake's knee. Nagging from finals grind. Sidelined rehab IR list looming. My OSU promotion to associate head. Travel taxing. We leaned in couples yoga at Shaker Lakes. Journaling prompts from Dr. V. What legacy beyond lights? Answers converged. Foundation for queer youth athletes. Camps blending hoops and heart. Court as classroom, he mused, sketching logos over breakfast. Fall re-anchored. My Buckeyes undefeated early, his comeback storyline gold. Betrayals? Scars, not shackles, reminders to guard the bond fiercest. Holidays harmonized, Thanksgiving fusion feast, senior mastering Halupki. New Year's under Times Square ball drop on TV. We renewed. To overtimes won. Yet by tragedy whispered. Spring scans confirmed Jake's knee. Torn meniscus. Surgery sure. Career cloud. Might end it. He confided post-op. Hospital gown stark. I held his hand. For beeping steady. Then we pivot. Together. Recovery was grind. PT sessions I co-piloted. His fire undimmed. Media spun Harlan's hurdle, but we countered podcast. Grits the game. Pivot planned. Broadcasting gig floated. Coaching tandem-eyed. Summer healed holistic, Hawking cabin retreat. Vows revisited under the arbor. In sickness, in spotlight. We laughed, but meant. Back in CLE, foundation launched. First camp at the Q. Kids from Youngstown to Akron dribbling dreams. Watching Jake mentor. Whistle twin to mine. Fulfillment flooded. Love's true score. Assists to futures. Autumn's palette painted Cleveland in burnished golds. Maples flaming along the Cuyahoga. My OSU practices crisp with first chill. Leaves crunching underfoot like applause. Jake's rehab plateaued stubborn. Knee balking at full extension. But his spirit sprinted ahead. Foundation camps swelling, donor checks from NBA alums pouring. We hosted the gala at the Rock Hall, black tie under glass guitars, auctioning signed jerseys for queer rec leagues. He emceed Charm, limp masked by mic stand, toasting from foul lines to finish lines. Senior bid fierce on my old high school ball, pride beaming paternal. You're building what I couldn't, he told Jake later, voice gravel soft. America's arc, bending toward equity, one bid at a time. But the league's verdict landed like a charge call. November, Cavs GM summoning. Love the story, Harlan, but the wheel turns. Buyout or bust. Jake took it stoic, post-meeting call from the lot. It's over. Hoops pro. Silence stretched, my office desk piled with scout reports blurring. Then what? He laughed, hollow. Us, always. Retirement party spun bittersweet. Teammates at the Velvet Dog, toast sloshing. To the shooter who aimed true. I spoke last, throat tight. You won more than rings. You claimed us. Kiss amid cheers, unapologetic. Winter pivoted profound. Jake diving broadcast, sideline analyst for Fox Sports Ohio. His insight sharp as old crossovers. Love the view without the hits. He'd quip, but nights. Ice packs soothed swells, vulnerability surfacing. Feel like I failed, he'd murmur, head on my chest to the radiator's hum. I'd counter, failure's folding. You're unfolding. Therapy evolved, group now with other ex-athletes, sharing war stories of identity whiplash. Dr. Vasquez guest starred. Transitions the new championship. True. His first broadcast, Buckeyes-Purdue rematch, ratings spiked. Fans tuning for the Harlan Heart. Spring thawed scars. My OSU squad marching to Elite 8, Jake calling plays from the booth, voice booming that's Russo's boy, textbook trap, post-win huddles, his headset off, hugs fierce. Foundation bloomed, national chapters, scholarships named Court of Dreams. We keynote at GLSN prom in Columbus. Teens' eyes wide. You make it possible. Humanism incarnate, love's ripple, from personal pin to public wave. Yet conflict crested subtle, internal, my coaching climb tempted, Duke whisper, head spot, Durham's prestige. Go! Jake urged over diner hash, but eyes shadowed. Our stories mobile. Betrayals in verse, me hedging heart for hustle? Nights wrestled. Legacy versus love, spotlight siren. Tyler, visiting from residency, called bullshit over beers. You're scared of settling, but you already won the series. Clarity dawned. I turned Duke down, countering OSU with family flex, remote scouts, home halved. Summer solstice sealed it. Anniversary vow renewal at Edgewater. Sunset service with waves as choir. Just us. Tyler officiating impromptu. Rings refreshed. Through trades and triumphs. I vowed. His, you're my forever free agent. Picnic followed. Subs from Steve's. Sandcastles crumbling like doubts. Back home, Tremont's pulse our metronome. Farmers Market Saturdays. West Side Glee's chamber concerts. His broadcasts sinking my whistles. Fall framed futures. OSU's championship chase. Jake's Emmy nod for commentary. Betrayals? Distant fouls, lessons logged. Holidays haloed. Thanksgiving mega-merge, senior and dad co-grilling. Laughter loud. New Year's, rooftop under fireworks, we plotted phase next. Book deal, off the court. Love's playbook, co-authored raw. Our truth, he said, champagne bubbling. Years layered like brackets. My head coaching at OSU by 2030, Final Four glory. Jake's media empire, podcast empire Harlan and Hart. Kids came via surrogacy, twins, Buckeye-eyed, dribbling mini hoops in the yard. Daddy Jake's crossover. They'd squeal, his demo gentle. Foundation global, allies amplified. Seniors decline, Alzheimer's slow steal. Drew us Fort Wayne frequent. Stories retold till memory looped. Proud son. He'd grasp, fading but firm. Climax quieted to crescendo, 2040 induction duel, me Naismith Hall for coaching, him for play, Springfield Gala intertwined. Speeches synced. Mine crediting the man who guarded my soul. His the coach who called my heart. Standing ovation, hands clasped, full circle. Ending humanistic, no tidy bow, life's overtime endless. In our Lakeview condo, graying but grinning, Springsteen eternal, we reflect. From therapy's nudge to this net, love's the score that endures. Therapist was right, pick available. But Jake? He was the chord itself, home, horizon, heart.